Good, good. Is the audio going to be coming through on your end, or do I need to set up a monitor on my side too? Are you are you linking their stream to your stream in real time? Okay, so the audio should be coming through on your side then. Fingers crossed. Oh, do me a favor, turn it up real quick, and we'll see if I need the monitor. No, I can't, so I need to set up a live monitor for myself. Okay, no problem. I gotta tell Phyllis that his uh, opening music comes in hard. Let's see. Okay, I was like, oh, I could just play your. No, that's then I'm myself. Preview. All right, it's currently scrolling trivia. All right, cool. I'm gonna go grab my coffee real quick. I'll be right back. We got what, 7 word starts?
Let me see if that's coming through on the telly.
We got what, 7 word starts?
Ah, yep. It's coming through. Lovely. Oh, there we go. Right, sorry, I was just checking the audio was working on everything. Sorry, yeah, what was your question? Oh, you still there? Oh, seem to have lost you. Not sure if you can hear me at all, Eddie. But I seem to have lost you. Dun, dun, dun. Good evening, Hayden. How are we doing, brother? You good? Okay, can hear you connecting and disconnecting, Eddie. I'm not sure if that helps at all.
Nope.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Wait. Okay, cool. All right.
Okay, I got you.
I'm gonna go grab my coffee real quick, go kill myself, and then we'll get this party started. Just wanted to check.
Sounds good to me.
Real quick. Can you still hear me?
I can indeed.
Okay. Last time when I went to the video was when all the audio stuff seemed to crack back up. So
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's doing that, but
all right,
got you.
I'll be right back.
No worries, bro. Exhausted from all the heat. Yeah, man. I know you work in the kitchen, don't you? So I can only imagine how hard it is to work in those conditions, bro. It is horrible. I work in an office, one without aircon as well, and I find that tough. So I can only imagine how hard you must find it. There we are. So we've got making sure everything's working okay before the stream starts properly. There we go. So, got the stream on in the background. I spared the heat wave in the kitchen. That's nice. Yeah, to be fair, it was so hot yesterday and the day before. They let us go early from work, which was quite nice. So, yeah, generally speaking, all good. Glad that it's now the weekend, and looking forward to, well, hopefully getting the rest of the Armageddon set assembled. I've got I think 6 figures assembled so far from last weekend. So I'm going to try and get some more done tonight. And then in the morning tomorrow, I'm going to prime them outside so that I can hopefully do some painting tomorrow evening. So that's the plan at least. How are you getting on with yours? So yeah, 3 minutes away until the stream starts. And we get to see what reveals Warhammer have, or should I say Games Workshop have in store for us. When the stream starts properly, obviously, and when Eddie joins back in, what we'll do is me and Eddie probably won't do as much talking, so you won't hear as much from us, and then I'll turn the volume up on the stream so that you can hear what they're saying, and then we'll comment as we go if we need to. And go from there. So we've got a couple minutes yet. Make sure you've got your drinks and your snacks ready. I have no idea how long this is going to last. This is the first time I'm doing this live. So, yeah. In fact, for those of you that have watched the preview shows in the past, how long do they normally last? Is it like a 10-minute thing, 30-minute thing, hour-minute thing? How long do these things normally last? Let me know. Let me know. Just finished the librarian, planning on painting, but the heat said no. So yeah, it is a bit like that, isn't it? It's not the best conditions for this. Like I said, I've been sent home from work a couple times this week early. Yesterday, half day. Day before, about hour and a half early, and I was like, yes, perfect time to go home, get ahead of myself. And it's just like you said, it's been so hot. I've not even been able to do it. I just don't have the energy because it's too goddamn hot. Too goddamn hot. So it looks like we'll be starting in about a minute's time. And like I said, I'll turn up the volume for the stream once once it's live. And hopefully Eddie will join us in any second now as the stream is about to start.
Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Oh, here we go.
Very exciting preview. This is the big.
Let me go to the options now and get it all turned up.
We're delighted to have your company.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Just hoping you can hear me.
I can indeed.
Loads of Warhammer to talk about. I think about 90 minutes of stuff.
Right, I'm just going over to the stream quickly so I can turn it up. Bear with me a second, guys.
Also, we're going to fill the air with loads of cool Warhammer things. We've got
It's
things to cover from
just them
Warhammer
faffing
40,000, Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Warhammer the Old World, Warhammer Necromunda, Warhammer Blood Bowl, Warhammer Horus
Sorry, I
Heresy,
have to have my
Legions Imperialis.
audio
Have we got
coming
anything?
from
Kill
my
team.
Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. So loads to
Oh,
go
you've
through.
gone very crackly. I can hear like every other word for some reason.
So we haven't got any Warcry for you. We haven't got any Underworld.
Or Middle Earth.
We haven't got any Middle Earth, but we'll have stuff on all of those game systems in the not too distant future.
Absolutely. So keep your eyes on warhammercommunity.com if you want to hear about the news on those as it happens. Meanwhile, while the chat fills up and we get ready to kick off,
Is that
there's a few
better?
things we normally do.
Aha,
First thing
I
is
can now hear you
ask people in the
perfectly.
Chat where you're from. I was looking at the chat as people answered the.
I enjoyed the quiz.
The quiz was
good
fun, right?
Good fun.
Did you get any right? Any
I
wrong?
got all of them right.
I
Obviously,
just
very
turned
good.
down
I did
the
also write the question,
my
so I
mic.
cheated a bit.
Perfect. I was doing all right myself, and I saw where some people are from.
Turned
We've got
everything
people from
down.
Texas.
Let us know in the
people
chat
from
if
all
either
around the
me,
UK,
Eddie,
lot from Europe
or
as
the
well. I saw from
YouTube
France and from
stream,
Germany. So
as in the
wherever you
Warhammer
are
stream
in
is
this
too loud,
global
not loud
Warhammer
enough.
community, welcome to the
I can
stream.
turn
We're
stuff up
delighted
and
that you
down,
would
so let
choose
me
to
know,
spend some
guys.
time with us.
Yep, absolutely. Are you doing any hobby recently, Adam?
I have. I've found doing hobby a bit hard. I've been very busy, and also the weather is
been a
complete
bit warm, hasn't
anathema
it?
to painting
Yeah.
right now here in the UK. We are getting burninated. But I have put together everything that was on the Space Marine side of
Right.
my Armageddon
I'm
box,
hoping
including
that everything
sort of
is now
dark
good to
angeling-
go.
Dark angeling, is that a word?
I think why not?
The
Yeah,
models
why
with
Just
some
quickly
extra
check in
details
the
and back
chat.
banners and things like that. What about you?
Bit of Eldari, paint
Mhm.
some of them.
Depends if
doing a little
GW
bit of
have
Paragons on my
any
painting table at the
technical
moment,
difficulties.
And
Did you
As
finish your
the
cocktail?
I
power.
did finish my cog fort. Yes,
Perfect.
I had a good time.
Yeah, so
with it.
guys,
Actually,
just
loads
let
of
me
people-
know in the chat
It was,
very
yeah.
quickly for those of you that are watching.
Meanwhile, the other thing I've been doing to fill
Is
a
the
little bit of my
Warhammer
time
stream
is
coming
I've been
through at a
sort of
good volume?
theory hammering some
Are
army
me
lists
and
in
Eddie
the
too
Warhammer
loud,
40,000
not loud enough?
and I've been looking at. I saw somebody had made a really interesting
on
little video
my
on
side.
like Instagram or somewhere about how you could use the Fulgurist detachment, which is like land speeder centric. And so I'm trying to work out how I can synergize that
right.
with Ravenwing things to make like a very fast moving sort of attacking and deep striking in force. That could be really
Yeah, a
fun.
lot of people doing Warhammer 40,000 army list theorying.
Yeah,
Looks
I've
like
been
they're
caught up
doing
in
a
the
bit
wave,
of
I
gap
think.
filling at
What
the
about
moment.
you?
The old
Yeah,
Warhammer
obviously,
bunch.
I've got one list for every single faction in 40k. That
And
I'm
you've played your first official
I've-
game of
I
the new
played
edition.
one game, one official game of the new edition so far with my Eldar against some Tau.
You are undefeated. Retire now.
So far, undefeated.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. Right. So, as we said, we've got loads
If
of
I'm
things to
too
talk
loud,
about
keep
throughout
it
the
to
course of this
yourself.
preview. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you have a nice time. We are going to start off the show by going to the grim darkness of the far future, and we're going to talk about some things for Warhammer 40,000.
Aha.
So here we are.
Starting off with 40k.
Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon, the launch box for the new edition, sort of out there in the wild. It's worth talking about some of the things that are coming up. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is
They
how
made
new
sure to
people
leave
to
plenty of
Warhammer
space
might get
and time
started
at the
in
front
the
just
Warhammer
in case
40,000
we
hobby
had the audio
with some
issues.
Warhammer 40,000
Exactly.
starter sets. So here is the Warhammer
it's the starter
40,000
set.
starter set. We've got one in the flesh. This is an enormous box and is the perfect way if you've never played Warhammer 40,000 before and want to get
It does look pretty
started
big, to be fair, doesn't
jump
it?
straight
It's
into
a
the hobby.
decent
Eddie,
size.
what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so we did know that some of the miniatures from the Warhammer 40,000 Armageddon set would be available in other sets in the future. This is one of the first places you'll be able to get hold of them. So in this, you effectively have a combat patrol of Space Marines, painted as Ultramarines, but you can paint them whatever color you want. You've also got a combat patrol of Orcs. You've also got a battlefield of stuff to play across, and effectively a combat patrol's worth of battlefield terrain for combat patrols. So like,
yeah, absolutely. This is essentially
Nice.
everything you need to get started with your first games of Warhammer 40,000, all in one box. All the models are push fit. The terrain's really easy to put together.
Oh, it's
got
push
the
fit again.
game board and all of the pieces marked out for you to put your terrain on, so you can just play straight out of this box if you want.
yeah, it's also got all the rules and stuff in there.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got your core rules and then the sort of the guide for using the models.
I wonder how much it's going to cost.
So this is the first of the starter products that we're going to talk about right now, but there's more to come. So what if you wanted to get started in Warhammer 40,000, you don't want the 2-player launch set, and you just want maybe a starter set which focuses on one of the factions? Well, this is getting started with Space Marines and is the same combat patrol that you saw in the box. And it comes.
How we doing, bro? Thanks for popping in and saying hello with your choppy internet, as you say.
So you can get started right away with
wishing us a good stream.
Yeah,
yes,
this is perfect if you've already got a gaming group. They've already got their box sets. They've split them all up, and you've got an odd number of players. And what if you want Space Marines? You can grab yourself this set and start playing straight away. This is your self-contained little starter set for Space Marines.
On the Games Workshop website, it was £185.
Yes, this is almost exactly the same.
But if you know where to shop
you have
with regards to
for orcs, then you've got a bunch of
local
various
shops,
paints.
you can get it as cheap as about 145 to 150. So quite a big discount.
You've already said it, but
So,
if you're just looking to sort of join in with an existing,
I'm not sure how that translates into
for the first time and you're already
dollars.
in Warhammer 40,000. This really is a great way to do it because you get the paint you need to kickstart the painting process too.
Or if you just have an orc army and you just want loads more,
want a bunch of reinforcements,
loads more orcs.
Yeah, no kidding. There's another way to get started as well, which is this introductory set, and I find this one to be quite exciting. You've got some Space Marines and some orcs and some paints, and you can have a gaming experience, but it's really sort of a first steps into the Warhammer 40,000.
To be fair,
hobby experience.
dependent on how much these
and the thing
cost.
that's cool about this to point out is that while the other
These
sets,
don't
the
look
miniatures
too
are the
bad,
same ones
do
from
they?
the Warhammer
I
40,000
suppose
Armageddon set,
they're not
these
that
ones
much
are
different to
brand new
the
miniatures. So
previous
you've got 5
sets that they
instances
released
there.
with Leviathan.
Space Marine Lieutenant, it's been like a whole week since we had a new Space Marine Lieutenant.
Couldn't have come
had
soon
to have
enough.
one, and then you've got a new unit of Orc Boys. They are Orc Boys are the same kind of unit as the ones you get in Armageddon, but they've got different poses. And critically, you've also got
funnily
heavy and
enough,
special
this
weapons.
introductory set
and a rocket
that they've got on
launcher.
screen right
So
now
adding some extra
is the
shooting into
equivalent
your big orc mobs you
of
can,
what
and,
I bought
all the
in
characters are kind of new poses as well.
January.
So it's quite a cool little set.
I get weirdly excited.
I got the introductory set, which came with the Space Marines and the Tyranids and some paints and stuff. So,
somebody will split that set with me, Eddie.
and I think that cost.
There you go. We're on. Right. There's also some paint sets. This is the paints and tool set. This would synergize perfectly.
So it'd be
with
interesting to see if
the combat patrols. It's got 13 paints,
any different
clippers, mold line removing tool, and a brush. Everything you need to get started with your painting journey. If you've never painted Warhammer models before, this would be a decent pickup.
Yeah, this is a lovely little set. I started with a set a lot like this when I started playing Warhammer. You can paint almost anything.
You've gone really choppy on the audio again.
Colors and then black and white and metallics and some really useful little tools. So this is just a really solid base for a paint.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want one a little more themed towards a particular army, you can start with this, which is very much like the set I started.
Yeah, you've gone really choppy again.
Paint set back in the day. This is boys and paints. So you've got 6 paints and a brush and a couple of orc boys and a grot. Again, just dip your toe into the painting experience and see how you get along. There's a Space Marine equivalent, which is intercessors and paints. Again, 6 paints, a brush, and 2 Space Marine intercessors. Ooh, deep breath. That was a lot of ways to start your Warhammer 40,000 experience, and I think it'd be a good time to like introduce your friends or the family member or relative or whatever that you want to like.
It's a really good time to start playing Warhammer 40,000 because it's a brand new edition out. Everyone's kind of in the same place. Everyone's learning the rules together. This is the perfect time to hop in.
Nice, I love it. So it follows on quite nicely. We're going to talk about some.
I think those introductory sets, starter sets, they're quite good.
Point out and talk about the first is Combat Patrol Battle Zone.
I know there's some guys in our Discord that have been wanting to see
the game boards and the tiles to
some better sets to start with.
To put the terrain on. This is everything you need in one box to play a complete game of Combat Patrol.
Yeah. And if you've already bought the starter set, if you add this box onto the starter set, you effectively have a full board's worth of terrain for something like an incursion or 2,000 point game of Warhammer 40,000, or in a self-contained set, it is the exact right amount of stuff to play Combat Patrol.
Yeah, and worth pointing out this with this one, this like the models in the starter set are unpainted, so all of these terrain pieces they come on the grey plastic that you're familiar with, easy to put together, and then you can paint them in the color scheme that suits your board at home or your armies or whatever you would like.
Yeah, this set, Combat Patrol set, comes in around the same price as a Combat Patrol itself.
Perfect. Right. If you want to add more things to it, or you just want to focus on building a terrain board that suits your own preferences, We've got a
Nice.
few little terrain sets to talk about. This is the Manufactorum Ruins, which
Okay,
are those
well, I
kind of
can
classic
think.
building shapes that you often see on battlefields. There's some of these in that Combat Patrol
Mm-hmm.
set that we just showed you before. There's more. There's also the galvanic network. This represents these power lines and things that run across the sort of ash wastes of Armageddon, and is a wonderful way to bring some character to your battlefield. And then you've got.
I don't have any issues with the terrain, but
and you've got like a really.
I won't be picking up any of the terrain only because I don't have the space to play games at home.
It is. It's
If I'm going to play any Warhammer, it will be down at the local game shop or the
and it's all coming
Games
fairly
Workshop.
strong down the pipe.
But I suppose they
There's
look
something
pretty
else
cool
we need to
for
explain
people who
to
do want to
people
play at
that
home
you've
or with
already
friends.
talked about a little bit with Aiden on a video before, right?
That's absolutely right. Currently, all the terrain in my collection is Eddie painted.
Perfect.
Very soon, I'll be able to also benefit
Terrain
from
is just
terrain
usually
painted
overcosted.
terrain.
Is
This
its main
is the new
detractor.
Yeah.
ready painted Battlefield Armageddon box, and this is
Okay, I'm assuming
everything you
that fixed
need
it?
for a full.
I can hear you
Imperial-sized
clearly
game of
now,
Warhammer
yes.
40,000 in one box, and all of the
Okay.
terrain in this.
Yeah,
comes
it was like-
ready
With a
painted
bunch
and
of
ready to
stuff.
go.
It was like every other word was coming through.
Absolutely loads of fantastic
I think what it
terrain,
was
and we've
was
got
because
one
I
here
was
to
trying to
open.
use my
So
laptop
what we
for the
thought we'd do is
audio
actually
as
just
well.
crack one
It was
open
just
Ah.
and
for that
build one of
laptop
the
to
terrain
handle.
pieces in it,
So I just have
nice
to
and
watch
quickly
it
to show you what it's
silent
like.
While Adam tells you
Oh,
about
there
it,
we
I'm
are.
gonna
At least you
build one
know
of the terrain
know
pieces
now.
in here. Gonna show you how
Ah,
quickly
Raquia,
Flipping,
how we
so
doing,
we've got
bro?
some nice pictures
Thanks
to show you
for
what Eddie gets
dropping
feverishly to watch.
by.
So here you can
I'm
see
doing really,
what
really
you're
well.
dealing with.
Me and
Essentially,
Eddie
it is a
are,
full battlefield
as you can
worth
see,
of already
watching
painted
along
terrain.
for the
Try and
preview,
talk over the rummaging and
seeing
crashing
what
of Eddie.
exciting
The
minis
set
they're going to
comes with
drop
the game boards that
outside
you
of the
need. It has
40k stuff,
terrain
which,
markers
let's
for
be
you
honest,
where to put
it's
your
just going to
terrain
be
pieces
smaller
onto.
versions of the big
Obviously, the
Armageddon
terrain is
box
painted
so
to
far and some terrain. But
ready
how are you?
painted to
How
a
are you
brilliant
doing?
standard. So if you're
And we've
looking to
got
just
Finest
click things
Fellax
out
in the
from
chat as
frames,
well. How are we doing,
put it together
bro?
quickly and start
How are we
playing
doing? I hope you're
40,000 on a
well.
battlefield that looks really good. This is a
Hayden is
wonderful
now
way to
saying
go.
that he can hear
It's
you
gonna be
clearly,
enormously
Eddie. I
popular
don't know
with
if you
people
can.
who, like me,
If you're
at
hearing all this.
terrain
Thank
board.
you.
But if I wanted to host a game night and I wanted,
Are you hearing me okay?
So we could like play round robin.
Yeah, no,
style
I've
games.
heard you
This
perfectly
would
this
enable me
whole
to do it
time,
nice
and
and
I
quick.
like
Oh,
to go back because I kept talking, and you were just like, all right, I'll carry on alone, and I'm like,
have a need for a nice
sorry, I
looking
don't know
battlefield
what's
quickly.
happening.
Really exciting.
To be fair, we haven't done
There you
anything
go.
like
I'll show you
this
what it looks like.
before
Here you go. If you go zoom in.
live
So
with
this is a
regards
piece
to
directly off of the frame that Eddie has just worked on.
watching
And you can see the
another
level of
stream
detail. You've
live.
got the fantastic
So,
glow effects around the
expect
sort of,
technical
the lumens and the
difficulties.
candles and so
It
on.
looks like we've overcome those
Inside, you can
difficulties
see
now,
the
which is quite
detail
nice.
from within the sort of the walls. You can
Nice to
see
hear that you're doing well,
chipped and
fellas.
Very
Not been up to much, just the usual surviving in this heat
is a very
and
piece of terrain.
Almost there.
working
So
really.
now we've got two. Now
Nothing
I
out of the
always try and put these
ordinary.
together too early, so I don't want to ruin doing it. So essentially, it just pushes.
Visiting Leeds for the next
discovered
2 weeks.
the,
Nice. Any
guys who
particular
are
reason?
global events are really excited about this because it's going to enable them to put together large battlefields very quickly, and you can also unclip these things when you're ready to and put it back into a relatively
So I think-
small space.
Yeah, the
There
whole
you go.
thing actually. If you leave the kind of floor,
I'm not sure about anyone
the
else.
whole thing- oh, they took it.
The terrain section is not something that
Right,
I
need
am
to do a bit more clipping.
particularly interested in.
If you get the floors out, the whole thing.
I'm
kind
sure
of
there are
fucking
people out there that
pretty much. So that's pretty.
do like
Which is nice.
the
if you have
terrain
some somewhere
stuff.
to store your models.
but
I think we're almost there. Almost there.
I suppose it's cool for people
So
that
one
do
of the
like
things I
it.
think that's quite nice about this is I speed painted my
I've only ever
entire
bought one
battlefield, but
terrain
it took
piece.
me
All my other
all of a
terrain I've
Saturday
either
to build
made or was
and then
free.
all of a Sunday to speed paint, and it's still
Yeah,
not
exactly.
to the same
See,
quality.
It's one of those where I think I'm not sure if you heard me say it earlier
the
on.
amount of time it's taken
I'm
us to
not
do
going to be
this.
playing
There
any
we go,
Warhammer at
moving
home.
around. And it really does look wonderful. You can
I'll
see
play it
the
down the
door
local
and
shop
everything
or the
inside it.
Warhammer shop.
I could be more
So-
excited
Yeah,
about
I think I'm pretty pleased with this. I'm quite
Don't
pleased
really
with
need
the
it, to
effect
be
I've got
honest.
on some of the glow there as well. I think the dry
I mean, it's
brushing.
cool.
Are you
I've
taking
achieved on this.
credit for all this work?
Yeah,
Like,
I
my
just made
works
this, sure, sorry.
are displayed up with
Lovely.
their terrain because
Nice. So
It just
Yeah.
makes them look cooler and gives me another display level, but
starter products that we just
it's
talked
not.
about.
Again, that was
and
because
so
it was
you're looking
free.
more
Like
towards
I
the-
Yeah.
got it with a set.
Right.
So
Yeah, and in terms of price, this one comes in. It has twice as much terrain.
the only one I went out of my way to buy
and
was
it comes in
the
at a little bit more than the cost of
Giant
two
Sisters of
Combat
Battle
There you go.
statue because
So,
that one was just that
really
was too
exciting.
cool.
Ah,
Okay.
And
fair.
so,
back when the
we
drop
talked
pod
about all
church
the
still
stuff,
had
we
a
talked about all
data
the
sheet,
frame,
so you
the
could
ready
still
paint frame,
use
very
that as an
exciting.
actual
I
unit.
guess we should talk a little bit about the
Oh,
things that
fair.
came along with the first codex. Of
Yeah,
the
fair,
Just
fair.
being able to drop a
So
church
it's
onto
time
the
to look at some
battlefield.
orcs.
It's pretty cool.
Get yourself a truck. I got all the trucks. Big trucks, bigger trucks. The best
Oh, we're looking at some
trucks.
orc trucks now, which is quite cool.
Oh, they redid the truck.
Walking is for kicks and grots. Go fast or go home.
That's cool.
Safety of transported boys isn't no guarantee.
He didn't really need
That was
it,
fun.
but it's still
a good
cool.
time to be an orc this year.
Yeah.
It is. They are getting absolutely spoiled. We can confirm today the first codex is orcs, and alongside the codex, there are a whole bunch of new miniatures. One of the most exciting miniatures on its way is that new truck and that new mech, which are on their way.
Talk about
Although
the
that
mech
being
first?
said, I
mech
don't know
first.
how
So,
big the old
orc
one is
mechs,
proportionally,
those who know
so
will know
maybe
these
it's too
are the
small
mechanics
for
that
modern
basically
day,
put together all
that's
of
why
the
they
weird
needed
and
to redo
wonderful
it.
creations that
Maybe.
battle
I wouldn't
alongside
know.
your orcs.
I've never done it.
Surprisingly good at
Odd
science.
boys with the
Yeah.
innate
Yeah, I don't
knowledge
have a
to just
truck,
make
so I'm not
awesome
sure.
things that have scrap.
Gene-coded, innate, kind of inherited knowledge in terms of how to make things like teleporters and trucks and guns and
I
shooters.
wish I had
and-
those skills.
Yeah, I
I'd be
mean,
much
you know,
more
if you
useful
apply
around the
yourself, I'm
house.
sure you can do it. But yeah, this is a really cool miniature. It has a kind of really thematic. He's got a kind of spanner clobber thing there. He's got his slugger.
Nice.
But the thing that he really does is
It
kind of
looks
bring
cool, like
together
you said, didn't it?
all of the awesome machines that make Orc Army so fun.
That
to
was
play.
one
It's
that
a
did
wonderful
need to
thing.
So
get
with no further
redone,
ado,
so
let's
that's
talk about
nice
the
that
truck
they did
then,
that.
which is maybe the star of that show. This is the new Orc truck. It's an evolution of the classic Orc truck that you know and love.
Ah, there we
A
are.
little bit bigger, a few more options, and is really just wonderful to look at. It comes with a variety of options in terms of weapon mounts. You've got the big shooter, you've got the rocket launcher. You have options
As
for
a
battle claw and
potential
buzzsaw, and all
future
of those can be
orc
swapped in
collector,
positions on the truck, so you can build different
once I've got my
configurations, have
itch
some great
scratched with
variety
Space
if you're making your
Marines,
trucks.
I
Yeah,
can't.
this is
I don't know
a
if that would be
really
something I
cool
buy.
miniature.
I'm
The
not
current
too
truck is
sure.
really cool, right?
Absolutely.
The truck that is in current Orc armies.
I don't think there's anything
Depends on
wrong
if
with
you
it
end
per
up running
se.
a bunch
Been
of
with it for a long
boys.
time now, right? Like it's been.
We want one if you run a bunch
something
of
like that.
boys,
Yeah, it's
but
been around for a while.
otherwise it's
This is
just
a
kind of
beautiful
filler in the
reinvention of
list.
it. The thing that
Yeah.
really makes this is the fact that you.
I
Can
don't
build
know
in
what
so
it
many
is
different
about
ways, where
the
pintle mount
vehicles.
goes, where the
I've
close
just
combat
not been
weapon
like
goes, how the boys are positioned, what the drone
compelled
looks
to
like,
buy
even though
vehicles yet in 40k. I know obviously you could say that
yeah, you could kind of play with where the
the
wheels are, and I
Armageddon
think
box comes with a
especially if
couple
you've
of
gone for a really heavy sort of
vehicles,
Evil Suns or
but it's
Speed
not the
Force
reason
army,
I've got
and you
the
want to have
Armageddon
a bit of
box.
variety in your force. This
I was
one
going to say,
bit
what
is
about the
very-
Dreadnought?
no
You
change at all
don't want like a
from what comes in the
Redemptor
box.
Dread? Or
Yeah, that's the only one. The only thing that has teased me a little bit is a dread for sure.
The one
But outside of that,
one with this awesome looking.
There's nothing
skull
wrong with
prow
not being
at the
down with
front.
the speed
It
wall. You
just
don't have to
looks
run any
like
speed
mean
wall.
Orky, this sort of whole skull motif for the orcs is so iconic.
yeah,
really
even
fantastic.
looking at them there on
Now,
the desk,
what we wanted
like
to do,
they
the
look
reason we brought
cool.
these along is so I can sandwich this little guy.
Get
in
me-
I
between
think the
these.
one with
Partnership
the orc
there.
grill on the
If you've
front
already
looks
got
kind of
some orc trucks
derpy.
in your
Yeah, that
collection,
one.
how
That
nice
that
they're
looks a
gonna
little
look. Don't wanna
derpy.
mangle the models. I know, right? So
I
this
suppose
is
it
how
also
looks with
depends
the,
on like
classic
if I'm
truck,
actually
in
going to
between.
play the
It's a really
game
good look.
properly in the
I think
Yeah, and
future.
if
very
you've already
happy.
got some trucks in your
If,
army,
for
you can absolutely
example,
keep
I
putting
don't
them
know,
alongside these
any
new
of these
ones.
vehicles or
I
vehicles
think
for
there's
other
something to be said
factions were
for
like,
Orc
I don't
Army.
know,
It's got a bit of a ramshackle look to them.
overpowered or like an
So,
absolute
you
must,
could
then
replace them completely, or if you
obviously
want to have a mix,
I'd
that's
get
absolutely
vehicles.
fine.
But
But I think the new ones,
for
just
where
because
I am right
they just look
now,
great, they got so many cool
where I'm
options.
just enjoying the
Advice
painting
is-
of things,
So,
it's a bit different. I
that's
don't
a
know.
couple of fantastic brand new kits
My
coming
advice
for
is
the
never
orcs.
do that,
There's
because
more
the
on the
reality
way
of the
that people
situation
might
is,
be able
even
to
if
learn
somebody
about
says,
through,
"Oh, this is an
the
absolute
progress of the
must-take,"
death
like
mode.
let's pretend
Yeah,
these
Yeah.
trucks are
so
an absolute
there's
must-take.
lots of orc stuff
And everybody
still to
goes,
come.
"They've been a
Some of the
must-take
stuff
for
we're showing you
3
today, some of it
editions now.
will be
You have
revealed
to get yourself
potentially
trucks."
if the orcs do
Right.
well
There's
in
no
the Deathmire
guarantee by
campaign
the
that's currently
time that
running,
you
so
build them and
if you wanna
paint
see some
them,
more orcs,
Mm.
that the rules
play
aren't
some
going to
games, send in
change,
your results.
and
Yes.
everybody's going to be
See
like,
some
"No,
very,
trucks
very
are
soon.
worthless now."
There are a few
So,
other boxes to talk about today. Though we've got the other stuff from
buying or
Armageddon
building or
as well.
Yeah,
painting
that's right.
something
So,
because it's quote unquote good
essentially,
is
if
never
you
a good
want to pick
idea.
up some of the
What I
things
always
Yeah.
recommend
or
instead
duplicate them,
is figure out
we're
what
gonna be releasing
theme
the
within the
Daiquiri
army
separately,
that
the
you
Warhammer
like,
separately, and the
and
Weird
just
Boy
lean
separately,
into
and
that
also
and
the other
build and
awesome
buy
cards.
around
Is that the
that.
right word for it?
And then
Oh,
just
why
be
not?
happy
So
with
the
your
banner
theme,
knob,
and
the
there will be
Yeah.
times where
and the paint
it's
boy will be
unbelievably
command
powerful, and
So
then
there's a whole
there'll be
bunch of
times
stuff
where
to
it's
come. We should
unbelievable.
probably
Like
talk
people are
about
like,
the
"Why
codex
are you
itself,
taking
right?
this?"
So,
And you're just like, "Because
obviously this is the
it's
first
fun."
codex
I,
of 11th edition.
I
Yeah.
like Gorgon.
Heralds something really
So
exciting.
it's just
in terms
it's one of those
the
things that
format
I
change
never
of
recommend.
Warhammer
Like
40,000
even
codex.
if it's been
So
good
here you
for
can
10
see
years,
it's,
like that doesn't mean
contained in
it'll
the
be good
slipcase,
tomorrow.
And we've got one live in
True.
front of you. So
Very,
it's a
very, very
perfect
true.
book
That's definitely a later
the height,
Chaplain problem.
but it is really thick and is packed.
Oh,
with
speaking of which,
an
so I
incredible
saw
amount
rumors
of
increasing
orc
that the next
content.
class for
178
Space Marine 2 is
Perfect.
looking more and more like
the
it's
first
going to
thing
be a
that I would
chaplain.
like to just eulogize
No.
how incredible the
Mate.
lore section for this is. We are talking a really
If that
thick
happens,
lore
you
section,
know I'll
which is
definitely be all
everything you
over
would want to know
Space
about the
Marine
orcs
2,
and how they play.
100%.
It's got a gatefold map. You can see it here, which is the
No confirmation
orc
yet,
perspective
but-
on the galaxy.
Yeah.
The places that the orcs are fighting. all
I've
the
been looking
different
for an
warriors.
excuse to jump back
For
into
sure.
it.
But there's a lot more to it than that.
So
It talks
I've
about
been
the orcs,
teased
where
as well
they
because my
come
brother,
from,
my
their
younger brother,
culture,
he's
the
only
clan
a
structures,
year younger than I am.
literally the
He's
most
never played Space Marine
on
2,
which you could hope for,
and
perhaps the most
he was
information
talking to me
on
about playing it
orcs
the other
ever
day
made
and
in one
wanting
place.
to do
Every
the
unit
campaign,
gets its
and
own
I was
orc
like,
section,
yes.
for example.
So we'll see if that
Information on the
that
glyphs,
comes to
information
light.
on, like what clan icons and things that like
Bump it
if
up
they
to
break,
substantial.
but also
Get your
some people might
practice
be
in.
interested in
Yeah,
the-
exactly.
So one of the big changes to the rules in this
Oh.
codex versus the previous ones was in the last edition. There was quite a lot of rules in your codex, but quite a lot of them you
What are
couldn't
they
use
showing
in
now?
order
I
to
stopped
play the
paying
game.
attention for a
So if,
minute.
some
They're
of
showing the
so
Orcs
for
Codex at the
example,
moment.
all of the
Oh,
rules
okay.
in this codex,
Yeah.
and there are at least as many rules in this one as there were in the last
My
one.
blood axe
you
is
can use
finally
in
getting
every
love?
type of game. One of the
Probably
ways
not.
that manifests, you'll immediately notice, is the amount.
Yeah,
of
Hayden, that's a good
detachments
point.
that you get
That
to
is a
play
good
with.
point.
There are 15
So,
different orc
I
detachments
think
in this codex.
That's
with
loads
what's
of
left
different
Loads of different
class-wise,
detachments,
or potential class-wise,
lots of different sizes in terms of
um,
detachment points. It gives you a huge variety.
there's only those
of
three
ways
left,
that you
really,
can
isn't
potentially
there?
get
Librarians,
some of these
chaplains, and
you could probably guess
apothecaries.
that the themes there are like some fast ones, some
Biologists,
choppy
Yeah,
ones,
that's why it always gives
Judiciary.
itself away, doesn't
right?
it?
Like so there's some ones you could
Oh,
probably guess.
okay.
But there'll be loads
Ancient.
of brand new ways that you could put together more army that's just never been possible before. And it
Although
gives you a
Ancient's
sense
kind of
of
bulwark
what
already,
codexes
so
will feel like
Yeah.
in the edition, where they will bring
They've
a
only-
huge variety.
I
of
suppose
list
from
building
their point of view, they've only got
Yeah,
to be a bit of a
absolutely.
gap filler for
There's
what
more
they're
to it
calling
than
the
just the
Year
detachments.
3 content,
Obviously,
so
the
that
rules
it's
have
ready
been,
for
looked
when
at by the
Space
Warhammer
Marine 3
rules
comes
team,
out.
and they've come up with some things. This is the
I
army
would
special
agree
rules
with
section.
Terminator,
Yeah, so
fellas,
WoW,
but I
right,
see the
you
same
can't have
problem
a-
with
you can't
that
have
as
an
I see
codex
with the
without the
apothecary
WoW.
class,
The WoW
in
rule has
that it
changed
would
a little
just
bit,
fundamentally
so there'll be some
break
things that
the
are familiar,
gameplay
there's some slight
cycle,
changes. It
and so
still
I
allows
don't
you
see
to
them going either
run
one of
and
those
charge,
routes.
but it now lets you re-roll that.
Oh, Librarian is
It also
confirmed
lets you
not
have
to be in
assault on
Space
all of your
Marine
weapons,
2.
which
Right,
is something
okay.
you used to
I
do. So that
misunderstood
means
what
if
you'd
you've
said
got shooting
earlier.
army, so like speed,
One thing I will say, though, if they bring out
You know, like
a
stand back with
chaplain
muskets or
yeah, that's
whatever.
for
immediately
just
really
1
useful.
year, and then Space
it also
Marine
gives you
3
the
comes
wind
out,
up
and there isn't a
which covers
chaplain
all sorts of
anymore,
things across all the
I'm
sorts
going to
of
be
bits of the
pissed.
codex,
Because it
where
means that
other
we
units
haven't
will
had
become
long
more
enough to enjoy a
powerful, and you
chaplain
still
like we
get
have
more
done the other
points as well.
classes.
It's a really great
It's a
army
really,
I really
good
hope
rule.
that if
For
they
one
do
turn of the game,
chaplain,
you'll have a great
it
time.
not carries over, but you know what I mean. Like there's the opportunity for it to be one of the first classes in the
So here's the truck
in the
that
new
we showed
game.
you before, and you can see what's going
I'm
on.
being
with
biased,
it
of
will
course.
be.
Options and things. To give
Yeah,
you a
I
sense
really
of,
doubt it
what
will
means
be.
for your
I doubt
players.
it will be as
Yeah,
well.
so what you'd expect,
Annoyingly,
it's still kind
but
of
that's
has a
me being
similar-ish
completely
stat line
biased.
to what the truck does at the moment. It
There's
is a kind of
nothing wrong with that.
medium-sized
You
vehicle.
hold your
The things
biases,
that you'll
sir.
notice are that it has more weapon options than it used to. So you've got options
For anyone who's
combat
watched this
weapons,
channel
different
or
shooting
been in the
weapons.
Discord
Finding out is quite a nice.
for
Yeah,
just
you've got
5
a really
minutes
cool
will
little
know that
mechanic
if
where
it's
if an
anything
enemy unit
chaplain
gets hit
related,
by, something like a unit
game
like
over when it comes to me.
eliminates
I'm
is
all
is
yours.
ready to kind of ready to kill your truck. You can pile the boys out, ready to kind of countercharge or to avoid being caught in the explosion or something like that. It's a really useful little.
Saying that,
Looks
though,
like they're going over rules now.
little tactical play
yeah,
you
it
can
looks
do.
like they're looking
So I
at
think truck's gonna be
the
very good.
Yeah, perfect. And
the
then in terms of
cards for
other
the
bits it's been looked at, it'd be
trucks
worth
and
looking
stuff
at
and
boys
the
who
other
really have some
other
of those,
other
like
minis.
glow
So
up
this is
effects.
something
So
I
yeah,
need to
so
get
there's
my
a
head
lot going
around
on,
because I did
I was
watch a
gonna say,
couple of
arguably, this is
videos.
what we should be paying attention
Yeah,
to.
now is the moment
Yeah.
to record this.
There's the first thing you'll notice is there's loads of weapon options. So one of the
At the
things
same
we've
time,
got
I'm like,
asked a
paint,
lot
paint, paint,
about
paint,
the
paint.
Armageddon
Yeah,
set is
I'm
is
at the
that
moment. I'm
will have
very much on the paint train.
isn't-
The channel is
loads
very
of
much
different
a
choices.
In fact,
paint
more than you've had recently.
first.
more than
channel.
I think you've ever had for an orc unit.
You
You've
never
got
know,
some
we might be
classic
able to
stuff
do
returning,
some
so you've got a burner back in this
big
unit,
actual
fan of Warhammer
tabletop
Warhammer,
game
which
related
is pretty
stuff
cool.
in the
You've got loads of
future.
different options for your boss's weapon. And the thing I want to draw your attention to is.
To be fair, there are plenty of other channels out there that do
the strength of a basic
that side of Warhammer anyway.
And that is
Oh yeah, nobody will ever beat Auspex. Nobody
Yeah.
can do Warhammer news because of him.
Oh yeah, he's number one in the news world, and then you've got various other channels that do battle reports if you want to look at playing the actual game, and then
increase as well. So
we'll stick to painting for now.
Even scarier all the time in close combat.
fantastic. I think it just looks like a load of great information. I'm really excited.
I'm gonna
about
have a
this
great
codex.
time with this.
Oh,
Yeah,
Phyllis, yeah, of course, bro.
And it heralds something really
Absolutely.
interesting.
I have
Talk about
absolutely
what
no
the
issues
codex
with
is.
you shouting me out in your streams.
Obviously, in the back of
And
this includes the
I do the
code
same when I
for
stream as
Warhammer
well
40,000
with
apps to
yourself.
unlock and access the rules. It
So
does something else
I
on
always
top of
return the
that.
favour, my
It's kind
friend.
of like your passport.
It is
to
much appreciated.
ongoing content for your Warhammer 40,000 Orc Codex throughout its lifespan. There will be regular drops of lore and rules. So that
Yeah, Hayden, that's right. If there are any parts of the stream that people want to pay particular attention to, they can always rewatch it. Absolutely.
And really thematic. So I'm quite excited to see what happens with that. And then I imagine all the other codexes that follow.
Yep.
I'm very much here to see what reveals there are going to be
down the pipe is
for the minis,
Warhammer
really.
40,000 Orcs, and it looks
This is
amazing.
so short notice. I don't know what to expect out of this.
Yes,
This
we'll be
could be
returning
awesome,
to the,
or this
the
could be a
41st
big
millennium,
nothing burger.
later on
I
in the
have
show.
no idea.
For now, though, we're going to segue into something which is quite
Hopefully
interesting.
they've got,
We've talked a lot
you know,
about
one
ways to get
or
people
two
who are
decent
new
reveals.
to Warhammer started with Warhammer 40,000. So let's talk for a little bit about the Warhammer Academy.
I feel like there has to be at least one, because there has to be something that prompted this.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw, there was like a 1 minute teaser trailer that they posted a couple days ago on their YouTube and social media platforms and stuff like that. And they mentioned that there was going to be pretty much everything other than, well, they bigged up everything other than 40k. They just sort of mentioned it at the end and said, oh, you know, yeah, there's going to be some 40k in there as well. But it sounded like they were bigging up all the other Warhammer stuff. So I'm surprised they started with 40k, to be honest with you.
Long and difficult has been our journey, and many things are still.
That might be why, since it's not the focus.
Yeah, just sort of get it out of the way and then move on.
Rage and the Red Thirst.
How do you get decals to lay smoothly on a Space Marine's shoulder?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just looked up. What the shit is happening? Who are these people?
They just called it Warhammer Academy. Whatever the Warhammer Academy is. Sure, what... Is it some sort of...
Indoctrinate the children.
Yeah, this is learn how to paint and assemble and...
So, why is Wizards beneath the mountain?
It's
What is
Warhammer
the
Plus,
Warhammer
I've got it
Academy?
right.
I'm so glad you asked.
Oh,
Eddie.
right,
Warhammer
okay.
Academy is a really
Do they
exciting
tend to
working
talk
on
about, like,
behind-the-scenes
the
work
TV
for
shows
Warhammer.
and the video games in these as well, or is it more just the miniature side of Warhammer?
With Warhammer.
These
The
are
idea is
usually
that you
just
can
the
come to
miniature
this
side,
website with
but
a
as a
preview,
result,
and they can
Warhammer
get
Plus stuff is
guided
usually
first
intrinsically
steps
linked.
on how to
And so
begin
we'll occasionally get
exploring
like,
Warhammer.
oh, and here's
So
a
there's,
preview of the next
gonna be
episode of
a
Hammer
launch,
and Bolter,
like,
or
well over 100
whatever
Right.
the case may be. That's just kind of
video lessons that
interspersed
deal
throughout
with,
there
the
because
lore
the
and
table they're
collecting,
trying
with
to
painting and modeling,
really
and
integrate
getting-
everything into
to
that
get
one
you
app.
on your first steps.
Fair.
I had breath, I had to throw this question
Fair,
out.
fair. I've not really looked at the app, to be honest with you. I've had a very quick glance at it, but
when the website launches, it will
I'm not
focus
sure
on
what
Warhammer
people tend to
40,000,
use the
coincide
app
alongside
for.
with
Is
this
it
new
for
starter pack so
the
that people can, like,
is it for the
experience
rules
Warhammer
or
for
for
the
the
first
TV
time,
shows
kind
or
of learn
both
about
or
the
something
units,
else?
the factions and
I
the
don't really know.
Not really.
really
I
going
mean,
on the same
11th
journey with
edition,
people,
from
you
what
know,
I've
to sit down
seen,
with somebody and
people
just
are
talk
starting
all
to
about
use
what
it for
Warhammer
building their
is.
lists,
And then
but
the painting team have
it
put
hasn't
amazing videos that start
been
really basic,
functional
and they go
enough
through
to
some
where that's what
really great
people
techniques.
usually
You'll have your
use,
army
even like in a
fantastic.
tournament setting or
The
anything
game
like
itself
that.
takes it from the assumption you've never played a game of Warhammer before.
The shows
and
don't
it
come
takes you
out
all the way through
frequently
to
enough
playing your
that
first
that's a
game of
reason to,
combat
like,
control,
you know, get
which
it
we
for a
played
year or
and had a lot of
anything
fun
like
with.
that. You
Yeah.
usually
Was it like
And so you
I think
to have,
I think it's like
a
5-6
wonderful
quid
experience if you are completely
in
new
the
to Warhammer or
like
there's somebody
British
in your
money.
life that wants to get
5-6
started.
Yeah, I
quid.
think so.
This is a wonderful
Something like that a
thing
month.
to
Or something like that.
when we launch
Yeah.
it.
And I think the
And,
other thing they tried to sort of like
if you want to sharpen
get you
those
to
skills, we
do
talked
it for
about,
is you get that mini, didn't you? If you do it for 12 months, you get that free
your
miniature,
skills, your
which
confidence,
no one
So
seems to
that's-
really be fussed
the
about.
most out of this wonderful Warhammer
That's
hobby.
basically how I recommend
And
people
so
look
the
at
whole
it,
purpose
is if
is
you
to
see
Mm.
one of those
free
minis
to
and
use,
you think it's
to
cool,
get on board,
get the
and
12
sharpen those
months
skills
with
and
the
confidence and
mentality
upgrade.
of I'm buying this
Nice.
mini.
And the
Yeah.
releases
And then
alongside
everything
the
else is
Warhammer
free.
40,000
Shows for the
starter
year.
sets that we
Yeah,
talked about
that's
previously.
that's
So not
that's
long
just
now, a
cool.
month or
Cherry
so,
on
and
top.
we'll be able
The
to
problem with the
see
rules
Warhammer
really
Academy
is the reason most people don't use it.
Perfect.
You still have to have the
Right.
codex.
Now I'm going to
in
get out of this
order
costume,
to
and while we do,
get the
let's
rules
travel to
on your
the
phone.
old world.
Ah. Ooh,
Oh,
Old
you're
World.
still buying the book anyways.
We've got some actual minis now, Eddie.
Oh, okay. I zoomed
We've
out.
got the Old World stuff.
Okay. So continue to zone out for me. Got it right.
I'm not yet to be pulled in by Old World.
It's a different game. I jokingly detract from it just because I don't have the interest in it. It is a lot more nuanced in the subtleties of control and engagement because it's a lot more about formation fighting than any other games are.
So those dragons look cool, though.
Yeah, no, they're actually, that does look cool.
Welcome back. I've returned to normal, and
so if you're looking for that more technical, like traditional war game, I totally understand why there's people who like Old World, because that's a lot more akin to
in a little while.
And then, of course, a lot of people were introduced to Warhammer Fantasy through Total War Warhammer, which is Old World. So there's a lot
going
of
head to head. You have the army of
diehard admiration for it for just that fact alone.
So you will see in a moment.
Yeah, I don't think at the moment, if I were to get into any other
and this is an army
worlds, if you want to call it that, it would definitely be more so like
familiar with.
Painting first and the game second.
Struggles in the old world at the moment.
And even then, looking at it like that, I wouldn't say that there's anything I've seen with the old world minis yet that I'm like, you know what, one day I want to collect X, Y, Z. Not like I have with Age of Sigmar. Like I've seen quite a few Age of Sigmar models where not interested in playing the game, but I would quite happily buy X, Y, and Z model just because I want to, throw it together, and
visuals really.
I think I'd enjoy painting it. I definitely have liked the look of the Skaven, some Skaven models, and some of the Bonies, some of the Reapers.
Warriors are kind of the mainstay of the Warriors of Chaos Army. These are elite, heavy.
I was gonna say Tomb Kings. Tomb Kings is the one Old World army that I'm like, man, there's some units in that I would like to paint. But to draw attention to Hayden's comment,
part of this new force.
You got Dark Oath in Age of Sigmar. That's like we have Kislev at home.
These are
so
super elite, heavy cavalry.
You've got options.
Box, you get 4 Chaos Knights. It's a classic size if you remember days of yore. Going back in time.
Yeah, these look cool enough, I suppose if you like your old world, I can see why maybe someone would like these.
No, these Chaos models look awesome. Like as just a general Chaos,
you can add into the
these
unit,
Chaos models look awesome.
I can definitely see why they would like the dragons, the 2 dragons that they just showed off a minute ago, though. Those look really freaking cool, and they actually looked quite big as well.
Cavalry units in all of Warhammer.
They're also just
which they should be. Like I've always felt like that scale was something that was slightly off.
Like when you build an army
I have
for
minimal
Warhammer,
exposure.
like, well, I can take a charge, but could I take a charge from Chaos Knights?
Probably,
the absolute pinnacle of the hardest hitting unit. So lots of people very keen to include this unit in their army. If you've got a Chaos Force, so almost never see a Chaos army without a unit of Chaos Knights. They're just so effective.
Yeah, absolutely. And then
they look cool, man.
Some champions of Chaos.
Yeah. I feel like they've been doing these same rotating shots for a little too long, but yeah.
Options that you
You're really laying it on thick.
So, in a moment, as when you see this,
I mean, okay. To be fair, a little bit of Warhammer history. We do have to give extra credit to Chaos Warriors and Warhammer Fantasy specifically because they're essentially what allowed this entire IP to explode. Because there was a single model that got sculpted that everybody loved, and he was like the proto Chaos Warrior. And so they came out with Chaos Warriors as a range, and everybody loved that.
Yeah.
So when it came to their sci-fi game, they were like, okay, we want a similar looking silhouette, and that's why we got the Space Marines, and everybody loved that. And so if it wasn't for this style of Chaos Warrior, like, I'm sure Warhammer as an IP would exist. So I get them spending a little bit of extra time here because it is so fundamental in the history of the IP.
Yeah.
It contains the armies. It also contains the rulebook and a muster list. The rulebook,
I suppose it's a cool little sort of like
you currently use for Warhammer the Old World. So
intro-y type box set, is it? They're trying to sell here.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's all Battle Force.
Really, with this rulebook and the rulebook you already have, if you
or whatever Old World calls them.
The erratas and things that exist.
I suppose if you are looking to get into Old World, you get your rulebook, you get some dragons.
Exactly.
I suppose it's win-win if you're interested.
Has an additional section.
The scale is not that far off from Age of Sigmar, and so there's a lot of people that buy buy old world models
and
and then just round bases, and then they just either kit bash or convert for Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
So, like, there's whole cities of Sigmar armies that are Oriental themed because people built them with
dragons.
Yeah, let's talk
models.
dragons. We're all very excited. This might be my favorite thing in the entire preview. It is such a show-stopping model.
Oh, he's just said this might be my favorite thing in the entire preview, and this is the Chaos Dragon. So maybe the rest of the stream is going to be pants.
Absolutely enormous, phenomenally cool miniature for Warhammer the Old World. I think probably the biggest monster.
If that comment's anything to go by,
it's got to be right up there. And there have been some fantastic since
he just may have a special place for it.
There's things to talk about. The first I want to just wax lyrical.
It does look cool though.
We've seen this image before of Chaos Dragons with two heads. There used to be a special character.
Garak the Chaos Dragon, which was the kind of one that had eaten the.
Yeah,
Lord
great
of
kit bash potential for any of their game systems, honestly.
The kind of former College of Magic.
If someone gave me one and said, "Would it be something you'd be interested in painting?" then I'd give it a go. Definitely, it's definitely a cool model, a cool looking model to paint for sure.
Even though we've waited decades,
you'd want to buy an airbrush for that one.
This is a really cool model.
It's also what we sometimes call a two for kit, in that you can make a different option with it. So you've seen the Chaos Lord. This is a Sorcerer Lord, and there's some differences. The first is the Rider. Obviously, he's like now.
All right, 2 seconds. Just going to grab a drink. I'll be back now.
Unit in right. It can be up to a level 4 wizard. He's not bad in a fight. He's backed up by.
All right, now that I have a captive audience and there's nothing he can do to stop
you're not going to kill him with
a
a light cavalry unit.
No, absolutely not. Additionally, there's some slight differences with the dragon itself. You'll notice that this one has sort of different frills and things. So if you wanted 2 dragons, you could have different riders on them, and they would look a bit different. And then with a little bit of sort of paint magic, what you've got is 2 very striking, different-looking Chaos Dragons in your army. Very exciting centerpiece model.
I like how hunched the Sorcerer Lord is.
Team have put together here.
His head's damn near down in his chest.
Possibly even better in the flesh, and we have it on the desk here, so you can see it looming over some of these new Chaos Warrior models.
Yeah, one of the things we haven't mentioned as well is just next to the Chaos Dragon, just below it here, whichever one you don't build. So if you build the Chaos Lord on the dragon,
there's nothing they can do to stop me, buddy.
On foot, and if you build the Sorcerer Lord on the dragon,
sorry about that. I needed to get me old.
Way you build this.
Old juice.
2 very powerful heroes.
Too bloody hot.
With the Chaos Lord, and then this is the Chaos Lord on foot.
Edion. I just seen that. I am the captain now.
To destroy heavy metal model live on video. Really a great kit. You can see all the other things in front of us.
Just the size of it as well. I mean, these are big models, right? The Chaos Knights are not small.
He's just locked in. Match got intense. Don't give him shit.
So it's a big old beast.
What's going on?
Phenomenally good in the game as well, right? Like
they showed after the Chaos Lord on Dragon, they showed off the Chaos Sorcerer Lord on Dragon.
Yeah.
In the model, his head is sculpted so far forward because he's looking down into his book that his head is like basically in his chest.
Hence the gamer posture comments.
Under his saddle, he's got like.
I was like, I didn't know if they were referring to me or not. I was like, what?
Yeah, I think one of the things that's
no, but Painter's Neck is real, gentlemen. Remember to raise your desks or take regular breaks and stretch.
Or be a complete idiot and do it on your sofa like me.
The kind of marauder
archetype. They're very much.
I mean, the second comment was aimed at you, but I was saying it in a more tactful way. Yes, stop being an idiot.
Yeah, there's that as well. There is that.
Of the Warhammer world.
Only mobile gamer posture.
Absolutely, yeah.
Look, they gave me 99 free polls. Don't fucking judge me, all right?
Some other things that would be useful. So here you can see common magic items and laws of magic.
Chaplain has total gamer posture. Oh no. Yeah, I'm going to need to see a chiropractor at some point, I think.
No, chiropractors are quacks.
There's also another thing that we said we would talk about a little bit. This is
my issues go way beyond chiropractors.
March is a new way.
Like, if you really ever feel like you need something like that, go see a physical therapist. They will do so much more work for you that will last so much longer if you keep up with it.
Oh, the irony to what you've just said there is I actually went to university and studied physiotherapy.
See, there you go. Chiropractic is that is fake science. I don't know why it's still in this play.
The rules for Battle March went to uni in South London,
and more information and more scenarios and ways to play are found.
I swear my dog waits for me to just stream.
So whichever one you want.
I don't know if you've got my stream up in the background because
I don't know, like lunchtime.
I don't know if you
for my visual.
Oh, can you see my dogs like instantly
Or if you've just started an army for the first
like a
time,
parrot.
you
She
haven't
knows
got enough
she's
to
the
play a
star.
full-size game,
She is the
you can
star.
play with a smaller,
She is the
a smaller
star of the show.
Yes. Now, to help you with that,
That's one of the ways I got my sound to continue working.
Yeah.
My visual is delayed.
Armies, and they contain a variety of units deliberately designed to give you a good battle.
See,
march
fellas
experience.
knows what's up.
And you could totally.
I'm just reading the comments now.
And then you have nice big armies if you wanted to.
Yeah,
play
we were talking about if you add either of these boxes onto.
So I'm not meant to play Diablo 2 when a new ladder comes out for
and then you add something like
27 hours straight with no breaks. Jesus Christ.
You've pretty much got an army ready to go.
Is that what Diablo
These are
2
really
has
lovely
become?
places to
Is
start
that
a
what they've
force
done to my
or,
boy?
just a really good way to bolt on loads of troops onto an army.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tell you what, I know we're going off topic now because we're all clearly massively into Warhammer Old World. Is Path of Exile 2, when that dropped about a year ago, I played that game too much. I love Path of Exile 2.
That was one of those ones that I looked at it and I was like, oh, if I do this, it's going to eat my life.
Oh,
I can't do this in good conscience.
It
So I
did.
never touched it.
It did. When it first came out, like, oh my lord. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I did the Mercenary first, and then they did an update, and I did. No, what was it? It was. I can't remember what it was called now. The next one, it was the Staff.
Slight segue. It's not quite the old
Like
world.
the Infection?
But it's very similar.
Oh, I can't remember what it was called now. Sleety. No, I haven't played the new season yet. What are the new characters in the new season? Because I know my PlayStation updated the other day actually.
Oh, Blood Bowl. I actually like Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl 7. I hear you are.
So what is the crack with Blood Bowl? The monk. Yeah, electronic monk.
Is essentially
Or lightning monk, should I say?
Akin to like
Blood Bowl is an alternate universe of Warhammer Fantasy, where all of the races manage to achieve actual peace,
Yeah.
because all of the arguments and disagreements are settled through the game Blood Bowl.
So
Every race builds up their own Blood Bowl teams, and they recruit from within their own race, and it's football, but you can kill the other guy.
And it's just a lot of fun.
It's everything
Nice.
I've always wondered why it doesn't exist in football, where I'm like, so that guy has the ball, and you want it. Why is this not like hockey? Why can't you not just take his fucking head off? Like,
Yeah.
I love this model. I think the thing that I most love about it.
I'll have to have a look into it. I've never looked into it. I've never done any research or watched any videos, so.
Is it better or
I enjoy Blood Bowl a lot. It's a lot of fun. I usually play it on the PlayStation.
It's very close, and I think you'll
Oh,
have to
fair.
make that decision for yourself when you get hold of your.
I'll have to look into it then. I've not given it the time of day. I've just seen Hayden's comment as well. I had to walk away from PoE once I saw the skill tree. To be fair, Hayden, I had to watch numerous videos on the skill trees. But as Sleety says, the skill trees are class. The best thing about any class and use any skill. It's brilliant. It's a very weird and wonderful game because of the skill trees.
Yeah, the first time I saw that, I went to like half-mast, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't touch this. This is a game I can't play.
It's one of those games as well, right? Where like you can't like just put an hour in here and an hour in there. You got to go balls to the walls with it and invest so much time into the game with your skill tree and everything that comes at the end game as well.
Here on the screen at the moment,
It is really good. If you do go full on with it, it's class. Same as the old Diablo games.
Catching, but he might do even better clobbering than a regular Minotaur.
Yeah, no kidding. Now,
So it looks like they, to drag it back to Blood Bowl for a second, it looks like what they did was they redid all of the big central like monster characters that each race can take. So like Minotaur for Chaos, you got like the Tree People for Wood Elves, Rat Ogres for Skaven, so on and so forth. It looks like that's what this showcase is they redid all those big major players.
They look cool enough.
Yeah, you usually have to buy them separately from the actual team that you buy.
Iconic artwork that we used to seeing with Morg. Here is
And what would they act as like an MVP or something, or
motif.
No. They're just so like how it works is, and this is one of the games that I recommend. Like if you want to just play like a tabletop in a local league and have a lot of fun,
he's also got
like a quote unquote tournament setting with zero pressure. Blood Bowl's a great game for that because
more of a chill experience.
Exactly, it's more of a beer and pretzels game basically.
Can you take him in?
That definitely sounds like it would suit me more then.
Yeah, you get a pool of gold when the league starts to form your team, and each different player type costs a different amount of gold. And so you can kind of build and tailor each team to your particular play style. So you don't necessarily have to take one of those big guys. A lot of teams, it is beneficial for them to do so, or it's something you can purchase later on in the season after you've saved up a little bit of money. But as the season goes on, your players get experience, and then they level up, and so they'll unlock different skills to basically better specialize them to different roles, from like being able to kick the ball better, being able to catch passes better, all the way to after you knock somebody down, you can pile drive on top of them, where you basically just do an elbow drop in the hopes of injuring them.
That sounds pretty fun though. Like it sounds more like stupid fun, and I think from what you mentioned a moment ago, with it being a bit more chill and not like tournament focused, if you will, or like try hard serious dudes playing. Whilst there's a place for that, I think to start with, I don't know if that would be my jam.
And to people who are worried about the financial cost of Warhammer, all you need to play Blood Bowl is a team.
A good time for Blood Bowl.
And
3 amazing.
I think that's it. I think all the rules for all the teams are available online. So on that, you can buy extra models if you want those extra players, but it's a lot easier to buy one. I think they're $60 US team.
Ooh, got Horus Heresy now.
Invest in an army. Oh, yeah, I don't care again.
Yeah, again, something I know very little about, to be honest with you. I will say that the Custody stuff that came out maybe 2-3 months ago looked pretty cool.
Oh, it's all their old Forge World kits, just in plastic now.
And bigger.
No, I think they're the same size. I think they're literally just
is it?
Forge World kits, just in plastic.
Oh, right, okay. I think Outerzone got some of this stuff, didn't he? I remember him posting a bunch of it in the Discord.
If he did, he can either confirm or deny that for us.
Right, 2 secs. I'll be back again now. My dog is nagging me because I think she wants a treat.
Yes, the stream is mine again. Welcome back, bitches.
And just in case you didn't believe us, we put the logos on the box.
It couldn't be clearer, could it?
No confusion. You can absolutely use this.
I guess I'll go through the chat while he's gone. Let's see.
There are 6 models in this box.
The best thing,
but when you look
for the monk
look
skills,
at the models, which are huge and awesome. So let's start with the fastest unit in that box.
Yeah, these are the
don't tempt me into that game. Don't do it. I was addicted to Diablo 2 when I was
You're popping out for an hour.
I was going to consume it. Yeah, see, that's exactly what it is. That's why I'm like, no, because I remember when Diablo 2 did to me, and no, not again.
Like to the teeth. There's loads of things to talk about here. The first thing would be
the fact that the word ladder is associated with Diablo 2 breaks my heart.
Twin Corvée Pulse Laser. That's the over and under one you can.
No, not at all. It's actually a really cheap game to get into, especially if your local league or your local game shop already hosts one, because then you don't have to worry about like the actual play field or anything like that. And you should already have a ton of D6. It just works off a D6 system. You can get the actual Blood Bowl block dice to make your life easier if you want to. It'll just make the game go a lot faster, so you can think of that as another thing that you need to buy. But in reality, you can do it with D6s,
or you can actually go, I just want them all to be really good at killing
deal.
vehicles, give them the best thing for killing the specific vehicle that I'm weakest into.
Yeah, all of them also have a...
Yeah, as long as you make them your own. And shut the hell up, fellas.
I just seen his comment there as well. Always buy your bases.
I reckon you could kebab about 5 Chaos Space Marines.
And the real Chaplain has returned.
So, there's 4 of these.
I'm not a Chaplain. I'm the Historicus.
Units to go spearheading around the
yes,
and just,
you did mention before about being Historicus.
The only thing that moves fast in this box, we have the Palace Gravattack.
Here we go.
The Palace Gravattack is a fast-moving skimmer for the Custodes.
Yeah, again, you know, it looks cool. I'm not a big fan of the vehicles, as I mentioned previously, so
and it's very useful for.
I will.
Okay.
I like Custodes more than I like Astartes, but
models,
I just
so you don't have very many.
I don't
small
care
units,
about super
so this
soldiers. I'm
zip
not
around
one
the
for
battlefield,
uber heroes.
take an objective,
I'm just
getting
like
the enemy where they're hiding in a way.
it's the same problem I have with Superman. It gets really boring really fast to me.
And this is another one.
I like fallibility.
To sort of cater for where you think you might need additional strength. Has 2 weapons to choose from: the twin Arachnus Blaze Cannon.
For those that collect Custodes, sure they're probably really happy.
Henry Cavill, get hype.
Oh, Henry Cavill, yeah, he'd be over the moon, wouldn't he?
The showstopper of this box is undoubtedly the Telamon Dreadnought. This is a brand new
that looks cool enough.
Plastic kit, a reinvention of the resin version, the already very nice resin version of the Telamon Dreadnought, but in glorious multi-part plastic, keeping all the posability with even more detail and even more weapon options.
Yeah, speaking of weapon options,
a whole lot of gold paint that you need for that bad boy.
You can see the Spiculous missile launcher, but there are other weapon options too.
You just base some gold.
Accelerator Culverin, the Adrathic Devastator,
gold,
the Arachnus Storm Cannon,
Lead Belcher.
On his other hand, so you
a bit red.
Those as you will.
Job done.
You literally you prime them in Retributor armor.
Essentially fancy.
You wash them red. You dry brush them gold, and then you infill all the metal parts with
bit like a
Belcher.
flamethrower. But
you're done.
Absolutely,
job done. I suppose if you want to buy an army where you don't really have to do too much painting or worry about painting, it's probably a pretty good army. And from what I understand as well, points-wise, you don't need to buy too many of them.
This is a really beautiful kit, right? So you can paint this up very quickly if you want.
I would put them right up there with Necrons as
but equally, if you want to take your time over all the detail of this, it is absolutely dripping in detail, more detail even than was on.
Oh, really?
Best worst. Actually, best worst.
We have one on the table, and we brought along the other Dreadnought,
really easy.
so you can sort of see
you can get
how it scales
a very relatively good-looking army on the table very quickly, especially for the first time.
So we brought
and be very happy with the result. And so that's why I say they're the best.
Nothing could ever be cooler than
like Necrons. I also say they're the worst because that doesn't really teach you anything, and those skills don't really translate when you're trying to move on to other armies and models, and so you end up a lot more frustrated than you otherwise would have, because you're just like, why does this not look anywhere near as good as that one does?
Yeah,
I'm putting so much more work into this one than I did that one. I don't get it. Like it's just that's why I say it's one of the best worst armies to learn to paint with.
Yeah, I suppose it's probably the best, one of the best to get if you're not really interested in the painting and you just want to play the game.
Oh yeah. Or if you're just going to stick with Custodes the whole time, if you want to be one of those people that's just I have 30,000 points of this one army,
yeah,
Custodes, then absolutely go for it. Like, don't listen to me. What the hell am I talking about? Like,
no, if you're interested in painting, then and learning how to paint, then I'd go with something else. Like you said, you're not going to learn much, are you?
Some specific upgrades for Telamon Dreadnoughts.
I mean, you will. You'll learn how to paint Custodes.
Great, nice.
Yeah,
everything for
that's what you're going to learn.
We also have a new General Tactica on the
and it won't take much either to learn, I suppose. It's quite simple, like you said. You're going to prime it in gold, chuck some red on, and then fill the gaps.
And that's if you choose to take it that far. A lot of people just prime it in gold and call it good there. Maybe they'll mistakenly wash it with Null Oil or Agrax Earth Shade, and then why does it look terrible now?
It's the same with Necrons, though, isn't it? You just prime it in Lead Belcher, and you're practically nearly done.
That's why I put them in the same category.
Yeah.
Necrons do the exact same thing, where it's one of the best worst armies to learn to paint with, because they're really easy to get to a tabletop to standard and be happy with it. Yeah, but the only thing they teach you is how to paint Necrons.
For this edition, a full army list for the
good question. So what would you say is the hardest / most to learn from army?
Warp denizens of the patron, who is
any army that demands multitudes of different surfaces. So the
chaos because of all the trim. Sorry, ignore me. I was just being a dick.
A whole bunch of stuff. This is
you can get over chaos trim, but I totally understand that hatred.
I've not done it yet, so I can't comment. But I look at it and I'm just like, damn you, trim. But no, back to the serious answer to the question. Go on, mate.
The more different materials that you have to deal with, increases the difficulty and, more importantly, the time
of
the project exponentially.
Bigger and smaller at the same time.
So that's why Space Marines are so easy, because you're dealing with two surfaces. You have their Ceramite plate, and you have their metal bits.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 if you include their gribblies, like lenses, purity seals, things of that nature, but not really. It's 2 surfaces.
Sorry, I was just laughing at Hayden's comment because he said me looking at my Gilliman model.
Non-metallic metal is also a different conversation.
Yes, I haven't even started that yet.
So if you contrast that with something like, let's say, Guard is considered to be a much more difficult army to paint because of their volume. In reality, it's not their volume when you choose to go infantry heavy. It's that you're dealing with the cloth fabric, all of the different leather pouches and straps, the metal for their guns, the skin for their faces, any sort of paper products or anything like that that may be on them, like maps or anything like that. And so there's just each one of those different materials adds to the complexity and, more importantly, adds to the time that it takes. And so if I had to pin down an absolute hardest,
a whole bunch of different weapons which you can see playing out on your screen. They include the Graviton.
Or you could do like a top 3 if it's difficult to pick.
Volkite Destructor, Macro Gatling Blast.
I don't necessarily have to do them in order.
I would probably say it's going to be Sisters of Battle, Gene Stealer Colts.
Adam, what if I had a smaller Titan but still wanted?
I wasn't expecting that.
And complicated names, then you are going to be fine because this is
and then probably Guard.
And Volkite,
but that really Guard with the caveat that if you go mechanized heavy, Guard immediately drops off that list.
Yeah. So it depends on the type of route you go down.
Yeah, because if you're going for a tank list, then it's just that's an airbrush check. Do you own an airbrush? Yes or no? Like, that's all that is.
Yeah. Saying that though, if you don't own an airbrush, could you get around it by using like a couple of different spray cans?
Yeah, so if you have to do a vehicle and you don't have an airbrush, you're going to want to prime it in whatever primary like base color is going to be.
Now might be the time.
So like taking Ultramarines, for example, you have to do it in blue, because if you try to do anything else, it's going to be a nightmare. Trying to paint big flat panels with a brush and get a smooth finish is almost impossible. And so rather than using a brush, it's a lot better if you don't have an airbrush to tape off specific panels with masking tape.
Yeah.
And then use sponging instead of the brush to paint.
What is this?
What's going on?
This looks mad. The butcher's nails. Oh, that looks pretty good.
That looks a bit good, Eddie. What can you tell us about
that? Actually looks really cool.
This is a new animation coming to Warhammer TV for Warhammer Plus subscribers. It is a one-off standalone episode.
It's a show. Okay, see, like I said,
that caught me off guard massively.
Of a Khorne berserker who is part of a chaos assault on.
I mean, that's awesome, and I want to see it, but at the same time, damn, I don't want to sign back up for Warhammer Plus.
It is incredibly violent.
I mean, I do and I don't.
Some margin, the bloody.
I like having it. I'm not one of those people that was like, this is terrible service. It's not a terrible service. There's a lot of room for improvement, but it's not a terrible service, and the model alone makes it worth its cost.
Yeah,
to the final battle.
It's just not enough to make it worth the price tag for me personally, and I don't blame anyone who's in that
not all of it, but some of the animation is shown from the literal perspective.
I suppose it just depends on what you use it all for, doesn't it, really? If you're going to get use out of it, and you're going to use it for building lists and the rules and the shows and everything else, then, you know, fair enough, but I wouldn't, so I don't see value in it.
As many enemies.
So Sleety's got a great point. That's where Stardust 2 is going to come out, and so
absolutely,
it's out. The subscription's going to go up, and the pirate habit's going to go up.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was like it looked like a Doom-esque type animation. That then I thought it was going to be something to do with Bolt Gun 2, but caught me off guard.
I thought it was going to be the reveal of.
There are some Space Marines of the Imperial Fist. There's some other Chaos Space Marines in the mix.
That would have been pretty cool.
They'll get on fine, I'm sure.
I know, Hayden. I'm so excited.
It's all good. But yes, it's going to be a.
Well, I'm definitely falling more and more Chaos Undivided. I still love Khorne above all others because he was my first Chaos God.
Coming out fairly soon.
It comes out in August.
Awesome. That's very exciting. So from
August, okay.
Khorne is still the best Warhammer book I've read to date.
Or Age of Sigmar.
Damn it, I'm a couple minutes behind you. Damn it, how dare you spoil the fun for me.
Sun Eater, the gulping god.
Oh, Age of Sigmar! You son of a bitch.
I see
These look cool.
will
Oh, it's the ogre refresh. It's about time.
in the blood. He is the hunger.
You know what?
that endures
They look awesome, but at the same time, they don't look terribly different from the old ones.
The red the Mao looks good. Wait until you see that one.
Swallow the realms.
High Slaughtermaster. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not one for named characters. He does look awesome, but I'm not one for named characters. But if you have the old ogres, it looks like they won't look super out of place next to
Yeah.
the new ones. Which is always a concern when they do range refreshes.
Now these look cool enough, I suppose. Are they just doing these, or are they doing other stuff as well?
I hope they're doing other stuff as well, but that's awesome for ogre players, and I'm super happy for you guys because they've been waiting for a long time.
That was very exciting to see such a large amount of models coming into the mortal realms with these new Ogre tribes.
Oh,
Ed,
God.
where do we even start?
I am super excited
Stomp the
about this
elephant?
release. This is an enormous range refresh.
What was
for
the
Ogre
Stomp the
Tribes.
elephant?
There's so much to talk about.
I
I
wanna
think
see
let's
Stomp
start
the
with the
elephant.
army set which is coming out. This is the first place you'll get a chance to get your hands on some of the new miniatures. This is an enormous army launch set, a little bit like what we've seen with some of the armies
Yeah,
recently.
like the Hellsmiths and so on.
Exactly like the Hellsmith, same sort of concept. You get a cool
Right,
version
so
of the
no more.
Battle Tome,
Come on, down
and the first
now.
chance to get
You're
hold
being
of
an
a bunch
ag.
of the miniatures.
No,
Let's
down.
have a quick chat about
Down.
some of the stuff in this set.
Down.
Sure. So first out the gates would be sort of the mainstay unit for
Right?
more tribes. These
I
are
wanna know what the
gluttons,
Stompy Elephant
these sort of,
was.
replacement
They're
or
just glossing
refresher
over that.
of What, in old days you might have called ogre bulls.
I mean, it was
Boy,
still
do they
part
look
of the
good.
ogres
Yeah, the
release,
ogre bulls
so
are
I'm sure it's
still
a
really
new
cool models,
edition
like,
of
but
one
they
of
are
their old.
they've been around for a
or
while now. They're more than
if
20
only
years
they
old.
never got a
Yeah,
model.
I'm sorry
realised
about that,
how old
Adam.
I
Like
was.
Rogue Beast Riders
So
or
they are
something
well
like that.
and truly deserving of a refresh. This is
I don't know
really
enough
cool
about
update
ogre
for them.
lore to be
They
able
still
to tell
keep
you
the
that
kind
one
of
way or
general
another.
aesthetic.
No,
feel of
neither
the
do
old
I. I
ones,
don't know
but
enough
now
about
they're a
Age of
little bit
Sigmar, let
bigger.
alone
The armor plates are much
individual
more impressive.
factions and
I
units.
really like the shape of the helmets. They look like
I just know that
All
you
I know
like
is-
it.
Yeah, and if you remember, like the
All
first
I know is
time
every
they came
ogre
out, they
player I've ever
designed the
met are
Warhammer
some of
faction,
the
they have the
nicest
rank up,
guys
so
out
actually
there,
the
and they're
poses were
super
quite sort of
passionate
limited
about
and very dynamic.
ogres.
These
And
are
they
much
just
Fair.
love having
cooler,
stupid fun,
more
and
impressive
they've
poses.
been waiting
even
a
things
long
like
ass
having
time for
their
a range
arms out,
refresh, and so I'm super
they
happy
just
that
look
they
really
finally
great.
got
The
it.
detail on them is obviously 20 years on. From
Good
the
for those
original,
guys.
the ogre bulls. So these are really, really cool miniatures. You get 10 of these in that launch box. This is only the most basic.
I wonder if they're going to do. I was going to say, yeah. I wonder if they're going to do any other factions,
Yeah, so
or
mine too. I think the
are
Iron
they
Guts
just
have
gonna
always
go
looked really cool,
to
and these are even
announce
cooler
ogre
if
stuff?
possible. The Iron Guts are an elite ogre unit. They carry enormous.
And if you want to play Age of Sigmar and you don't want to spend a lot of money, ogres is one of those armies that's great to go with because they're very high point costed models, and so you don't need a
They
ton
look
of
like
them to
they
build a
mean
full army.
absolute business,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Like the
well, that's
size
a good-
of those weapons.
That's good to know.
Again, much
It's a bit
more
like Custodians, I
dynamic.
suppose,
These
isn't it? Are
blades
they
are
the same sort of thing in
size
terms of like
right? So they are going to make
low
an
model
absolute
count?
mess. They already are an excellent unit.
Kinda, yeah. It's a
Age of
different
Sigmar,
kind of elite, but yeah.
They're still an excellent
Yeah.
unit, and now the miniatures are even better as well.
Yeah, absolutely. To keep this rabble in line, you need an ogre tyrant. So this model is a multi-part kit. He enables you to build him in a couple of ways. Essentially, a really powerful, heavy-hitting ogre character. Here you can see a couple of the options. I love this one with the fur cloak.
Back again,
It sort
are
of
we,
fits
Bo?
into, the more
It's
sort of
her show.
huntery
I know,
style
right?
thing you can do with an ogre.
Just
army,
waiting
where
for
you
there
can
to
put
be some
one
sort of
beast if
dogs.
you want to, or you can go full gutbuster with this one.
They're going to announce some
whichever you
doggos.
prefer, really.
Yeah.
You've got the kind of Beast Claw Raider
Yeah,
vibe.
absolutely.
And I think you can obviously have a mix of them as well, but you've got a lot of different ways to kind of lean into different ogre armies, and it's just nice. To have
Reminds
a
me of when
character
I
where
look
you
in the
can
mirror.
Immediately start to make him your own. One of the big things
Oh
about
no.
ogres for their entire history is the idea of like big names, right? They carry that through
Yeah.
into this battle tome as well.
Now, fellas,
where
we've been
the
working on
leader
your
of force is
self-talk.
literally making a name for himself by achieving various feats. So being able to kind of have the pelts of the things he's defeated on him absolutely makes sense. Those units we've all seen before in different ways. The next unit is effectively a new type. These are the Maul Beast Cavalry and the Maul Beast Raiders. This is a two-for kit, so you can make two different units. They
Right,
function
I'll
in
be
a
back in a
similar way to
second.
a cavalry unit. The Maul Beast Raiders are your kind of fast-moving scout unit. The Maul Beast Cavalry are your hard-hitting shock cavalry. They're a little bit more armored. The guy in the back has more weapons, whereas the Maul Beast Raiders.
All right, but I'm
have
wagging a
laser
finger
sights.
at you.
These
You may not be able to
effectively
see
replace
it.
the Mournfang
It's
cavalry
happening.
in your ogre list. They fulfill a similar sort of role in the army.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about just how tough they are and how hard they hit in a little while. So these are all the models that come inside that new Ogre army set. Obviously, your battle tome and the war scroll cards as well. This is the battle tome that comes for the Ogre More tribes inside that set. It's got this lovely sort of finish to it. You can see the tyrant on the front. Obviously, there'll be standard editions of the battle tome.
Yeah, those are cool. I'm happy for Ogre players.
But if you want first,
they deserve it.
Ogres, this is the way. It wasn't all we saw in that awesome video, though. Do you want to show the box?
Yeah, I've got the box right here. So this is the box. It's really lovely. That is all the stuff you get in there. So just to confirm, you get 10 of those gluttons. You get the tyrant. You get 2 of the cavalry, and you get that big unit of Iron Guts. And
your no more.
As well. So
No, down.
Fantastic.
No, down.
What else is there to talk about? Well, I guess we saw some things which fit in a different sort of part of the Ogre army with the More Seekers component, right?
Yeah, so one of the bits of the Ogre Force is the Tyrant and the Iron Guts and things like that. But another fairly
I'm not sure what you want, Bo. You're nagging me.
The More Seekers, the Butchers, and the things that follow in the Butcher's wake.
It's not on camera. She can feel the lack of attention.
Well worth an update. This model is.
I think what it is because there's not enough likes on the stream and she can sense it.
I think you've got some strong.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's it.
Everybody but me go like it.
Every like equals a treat for Bo.
The longer you look, the more disturbing it gets.
So if you don't like dogs, then don't like the stream. But if you like dogs,
a really beefy ogre.
Every like equals a treat.
Sort of part wizard
for little Bo.
So part shaman, part
I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. It's just the unwritten rules of life.
All ogres at their core have this kind of unending hunger that they interpret as the will of the god More, who may or may not be part of the greater pantheon of More, depending on which ogre you speak to. And Butchers try to tap into that.
Well, the general vibe I'm getting from this so far is there's one thing at the end
a lot of their magic
really
is to
wanted
do with consuming something.
Yeah,
they had to justify this show.
There are more devotees of the gold.
I think you might be right.
This is one of those kits.
One like quote unquote big thing for each game system.
Yeah, because they're only doing one per system, aren't they? I've noticed they're not doing any more than one each.
Of the Butchers, they do a range of
and they're rolling it and dragging it.
They are dragging it out because it's been over an hour already now.
Into the cauldron for the Butcher.
Extend out this watch time to justify whatever it is that they're going to show
cycles of the Butchers and of the.
Yeah, they could have done this in 20 minutes, half an hour, I reckon. So far, they're like the proper gap filling with yapping.
I mean, Blood for the Blood God is
absolutely
crying out.
Oh, I'm kind of glad I can't hear any of that.
Cauldrons full of these are incredible. They're not the only things within this.
Like at first, I was kind of bummed. I was like, "Oh, I have to watch this silently." Now I'm kind of glad.
Yeah. I've got the audio rather low.
Even more horrible.
You know, if they reveal something that is pretty cool and whatever, then I'll happily turn the audio up. But
and the way that they work,
Hayden, you agree with us as well. Nothing tickled your fancy yet. It doesn't look like anyone's
the thing that I really like about them from
shown any excitement in the chat for anything that's been shown so far. To the point where we were talking about video games that aren't even related to Warhammer about half an hour ago.
Intestines or offal or.
And they kind of rendered in really like arcane parodies.
I love it. I think it's really. They look like.
Let's see what they end with.
I'm hyped for ogres for ogre players. Like that is one that I'm like, that's awesome.
This is the
they're finally doing that.
Sort of like the head of this cult.
But at the same time, yeah, we've seen them. Move on.
What can you tell us about Red?
Yeah, Fellas, you make a good point. The only thing that looked really cool so far was that 10-second of animation for the animation series that they're going to come out in August.
This enormous kind of cauldron construct that's pulled into battle by a Gorger. Gorgers are the other part of that kind of More Seeker group.
The dragons for Old World looked pretty cool as well.
Your Gorgers and all the kind of various fanatics that follow in their wake.
We could all talk about our dogs. Might get more entertainment out.
They get thrown in there.
We might get more entertainment out, actually, to be fair, at this point.
Incredibly powerful piece for your.
I think, like you said, Eddie, like if you're an Old World player, that particular section would have probably been good for them. And the same with this, if you're an Ogre collector. Amazing, but
it's such narrow windows in every.
It's very niche
so far.
Oh, that's just really cool. So all of these models are coming in the not too distant future.
Yeah, exactly, Hayden. Yeah, they've shown really cool models, but nothing. Nothing that's gonna.
And so there'll be.
I find it quite niche unless you're in a particular interest to that particular thing.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a.
It's difficult for the wider Warhammer community to get sucked into it.
For the ogres, there's a couple more things on the way. The other thing that's worth saying is a couple of the existing units do stick around as well. So particularly some of the big Beastclaw Raider monsters.
I'm just trying to think now, like, what else could they really end it on? Because they've done 40k, they've done Heresy, they've done Old World, they've done Age of Sigmar, they've done Warhammer Plus.
As a
Necromunda, Warcry.
Oh, yes, they did say there was going to be a Necromunda reveal. Maybe that's what the big end is.
Have a little bit of a look at some of the rules.
Yeah, let's do it.
And what you'll find
and Kill Team.
Any one of the ones we've already seen.
Yeah, so Kill Team and Necromunda.
Through the entirety because there's a big old page
screen grab if you really want to know.
Total War update would be nice.
I'm not expecting any video game up.
No, with the way that it's gone so far, I get the feeling that it's going to be very miniature focused.
Yeah, their video game IPs are usually separated out.
You fighting.
Saying that though, they did say, and again, you know, it might not mean anything, but in that 1 minute trailer teaser thing that they did the other day, they did mention that they've got a really, apparently it's a really cool kill team. So,
fantastic.
Or a message from Cavill. That would be really cool if they had a message from him hyping up the TV show, because we haven't had an update on that for ages. But I think it's definitely more miniature focused, unfortunately. As much as I would love an update on the Amazon TV show, I can't see it myself. I hope I'm wrong, but I can't see it.
By that wall of iron and muscle is no joke.
Yeah, I don't really see that one coming either.
Yeah, games are mostly revealed on skulls.
Before they come in the army set, and I talked about how just devastatingly powerful they are. The gut bite weapons do damage 3. The maul beasts do damage 2, 3 on the charge. These hit you like a landslide.
They're just going over the ogre rules now.
Yeah, they are filling these gaps.
If you're familiar with the way that ogres work today, you'll know
whatever's at the end better be damn worth it, Games Workshop.
A lot of the stats
I know, right?
Similar to Mournfangs, but
otherwise I'm going to continue to give you my money.
A bit better for the Moorbeast cavalry. They are a really tough unit to do.
I am going to give you all of my disposable income.
To charge, but they're also
and I don't have a lot as a stay-at-home dad.
For no logical reason.
For your enemy, I think just a couple of these on the flanks would do great, or even investing on a big double-sized unit and slamming it into the middle of the enemy army could be very powerful.
Yeah, and you can see some of the special rules and things that are going on there, but I love the ravenous attack rule. That means that you can be quite daring.
Yeah,
like scouting units in your force. Brilliant. We talked a little bit about Read the More. Here is rules. There is a lot to take in.
Yeah, this is one of the kind of big
And I have a feeling, fellas, that that's the boat most people are in, and so
everything on the sheet. Feel free to take a screenshot.
Again, I'm really curious why this is happening at all. What are they announcing that prompted all this?
Yeah. At the moment, the way it's going, the way it's going is it's like
always going to be useful.
Like as if they felt sorry for all the game systems, and they're just doing it out of pity, just so they don't feel left out after revealing and launching Armageddon. Not because they had anything to reveal, just because they just didn't want to feel like everyone else was being left out. Because at the moment, nothing seems that amazing, really.
You can just do it.
Like this is, it's going to have to be a serious ass kill team and serious like relaunching of Necromunda or something for it to be.
Fantastic. So that's a lot of great stuff coming all on the way.
Well, to be fair, arguably Kill Team does have some of the best animated trailers.
Yeah, we've got some close here. Just a sense of how big they are. I don't know if we've got a
Didn't we just get a Kill Team edition launch box?
I think we did. Wasn't it Red Terror, the most recent one? Yeah.
Of him, he's really an absolute beefcake.
And that was pretty cool.
This enormous cauldron he's got.
I thought the Red Terror was pretty cool anyway.
Spoon for stirring around the cauldron.
Didn't it come with some Chaos Raptors as well?
The Ogre Butcher. He's really
was it Night Lords?
Something on the other side.
Huge cauldron. If I spin him around, you can see just.
That sounds right. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was too focused
and again,
on Red Terror and the fact
they look pretty cool.
Mode for Kill Team.
Loads of things.
Well, they look pretty cool to be fair. So.
Animal horns and things, so they look like they're carrying trophies and things all around. Just really great.
Yeah, you put your best bits at the end. You would think, yeah, I agree.
That's a human.
My best bits are on the front, but okay.
Oh no.
It's pretty gross. So anyway, these have disturbed me for long enough. I'm really excited to see them come out. I think they're going to make quite a wave within the Mortal Realms. We are still not done yet. There is still more awesome stuff to talk about in this big summer preview. Next, we're going down to the Underhive.
Wow, there.
Ah, Necromunda. Here we go.
Damn you, I'm behind you.
Oh, are you still behind?
I have to be. Because having the live audio playing so that I could keep up to speed with
right, yeah.
was one of the things causing all the audio issues, so.
Yeah, that's
So I
annoying.
have to just have your stream up in front of me. It's your stream, so it's lag behind.
Stop spoiling it for Edion.
Oh, it's a new core set for Necromunda. Okay. That's awesome for Necromunda players. I'm so happy for the like 24 of you that are out there.
With a new edition.
Yeah, I am not blown away by that either. And the units didn't even look that cool.
And it's
To
great
be honest
It
with
does
you,
look really cool for Necromunda. If you're into Necromunda, it does look really cool. But
I can't say I know a lot about it. I know little about it.
Perfect way to get into it.
Necromunda is a specific hive city within
Yeah.
and so this is a smaller scale gang warfare style
Favorite
game.
gang just automatically. It pitched the Goliath.
Yeah, this is again, it's another one of those ones. There seems to be a common theme here. Very isolated. Yeah.
Awesome. But
Very isolated and niche.
The first of which are these. They are the blades of the matriarch. This is all new models.
Right, I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just gonna check on the family a second.
For example, you can see a huntress with
you son of a bitch. I was gonna step. All right, go ahead.
on the right hand side, you've got one which is
Have you been to the toilet or something?
blade
Is that what
maiden,
it is?
shock whip. You've got the Chem-Maid.
I mean, not particularly. I did that this morning. Thank you for asking, though.
Crazy looking flamer thing that you can see towards the back. Loads of fantastic options to really fill out an Escher gang. If you've already got an Escher gang, you'll probably want to add these to it.
All right, back to the Necromunda games. So let's take a look here. Blades of the Matriarch. If you guys are looking at the same thing that I am.
Never have played
which time dilation is funny, so who knows?
Head to head with the Goliaths. These are the Forge Smelters. Goliath.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of when I think of Necromunda. So,
and all of these like heavily muscled, stim enhanced warriors carrying weapons. Which
and Goliath. Actually, I don't know if these are new sculpts.
But there's loads of other weapons.
These may not actually be new sculpts. Anyone who plays Necromunda will have to let me know.
Cannon on the right hand side. The Lady Goliath is holding that.
To me, they look like they are because it looks like there's more detail.
You can see on the Goliath at the front.
I don't know enough to say that for sure. This might just be them trying to relaunch the game, basically, with a new launch box to make it easier for new people to get into the game.
Your first ever Goliath.
Which would make sense if they're getting ready to do some other Necromunda-based like IP project.
You also find inside the box absolutely everything you need to get started playing. So you have the gaming mat, the measurers, the dice, the templates.
If they were smart, they'd try to tie it into Darktide in some way.
Some terrain to position your gang behind to start playing.
They have all those people who play Darktide and like, oh hey, you like the scummy Underhive kind of vibe and feel of Warhammer? We've got a tabletop game for you.
You can see like a close-up on some of those other things as well. There's really a lot to enjoy here in these gangs, and if you look at the back of the box, you can see it all sort of laid out.
That's cool.
Panning around.
It's everything you need to play, as is to be expected.
Great Necromunda stuff.
And
there's
just
more
enough to
come in this new edition than just this. It's worth saying that Necromunda, the thing that makes it so exciting is this continuous war between the great gang houses. So there are 6 gang houses that you might be familiar with if you know Necromunda well. Essentially, you have the
and then there's each of the gangs. They're each getting their own individual box. So that's cool that they're launching it all at once. So no matter which gang you like or which aesthetic you like,
already know if you're
or which gameplay style you like, however you choose your particular army, or in this case gang, they'll be ready to go from the get-go. That's good.
I'm a big fan of Necromunda. I've played it for years and years. I've got a really big Orlok gang, and I looked at the Underhive crew and was like, oh,
that's another thing though that makes me wonder if any of these are resculpts or if this is just kind of repackaging and
rebranding. To talk about quickly while we're here.
I don't have the audio playing, so they may be answering that question. I'm just talking in ignorance.
If you don't want to buy a new the core box for some mad reason, then
that's what you do in Necromunda. That's exactly what it's. I mean, that's what Warhammer's about in general. But that's exactly what you do. You just take the general vibe and theme of one of the existing gangs and then make it your own.
Rules to sort of streamline things.
Because like think about real world games where they're constantly fracturing and splintering and absorbing